So today our topic is anatomy and physiology of small intestines. So it is the one of the organ or part of the GIT or digestive tract. Okay. So these small intestines it was play an important role in the digestion and as well as absorptions of the food materials. So maximum food materials so that was digested in the small intestines and maximum food. Okay, so when after digestion, so they become the micro nutritions. So those micronutrients they are enter your blood through a process that was the absorption. So those are also maximum percentage. So that was occurs in the small intestines, and small intestines play an important role in the digestions because it can guard the secretions from the pancreatic gland. Okay, so that pancreatic gland it can secrete the pancreatic amylase, then as well as the tripeptase, dry peptase, the dipeptase, then trihalase, then as well as nucleases enzyme. So these are all are involved in the digestions of the proteins, nucleic acid, dipeptide, tripeptide, and as well as the small intestine it can guard the secretions from the gallbladder in the form of the bile. So that bile is involved in the processing of the lipids. So dear students, if any problems, so in your gallbladder, if the bile was not secreted, it means in your body the lipid cannot be processed very well. Okay, it cannot be digested as it is. It was excreted through the feces. Okay, so that's why the small intestine it is also got the secretions from the gallbladder. That's why it is also involved in the digestion and process of the lipids. So that was required for our body, and as well as the wall of the small intestine it is also consist of the certain gland. Okay, so those gland they are mainly known as the succus entericus. So those are lining of the small intestine, or simply these are the small intestine glands. So these are also secrete the secretions or digestive secretions. So that was consist of variety of enzyme. So lot of enzymes. So that was helpful for to complete the digestions of the food. So that was whatever were taken in the daily lives. Okay, so that's why the small intestine it is one of the important part, and as well as the small intestine provide the larger surface area. Okay, so that surface area is helpful for absorptions of the food. Then the food material they are entering the small intestines. Okay, so that's why the small intestines play an important role in the digestion and as well as the absorptions of the food. So first we learn regarding the anatomy of small intestines. So first we can go for regarding the locations. So the exact locations of the small intestine it is just between the stomach and large intestine. Okay, the small intestine is a muscular tube extending from the pyloric sphincter to the large intestine. The pyloric sphincter it is the gate or it is the sphincter. It was present between the end of the stomach or present between duodenum, that is the small that is the part of the small intestine, and the stomach. Okay, in the towards the pylorus end. So that sphincter is nothing but it acts as a that is a gate. Okay, so that can restrict the entry of the food excess food from the stomach into the that is our small intestine or into the duodenum. Okay, so that's why the small intestine starts from the pyloric sphincter and end towards the large intestine. So regarding the size, the small intestine and average it is having the length about 2.5 to 7 meter, or it is a 8 to 20 feet. Okay, so but our height is only hardly that is the 5 feet and average. If they are somewhat tall means they will be having the 5.9 like that. So and average that is 4.5 to 5 feet our height. But actually the small intestine it was coiled in our abdominal cavity. So that coil length was about 8 to 20 feet. Okay, so then that is regarding the meter. In the case of the meter it was the 2.5 to 7 meter. So as the larger intestine it can provide the larger surface area for the digestion as well as absorption, but this length so it was vary from person to the persons. It's not same in the all the people. Some people they having the longer, some people having they are shorter, or after even certain peptic ulcer, so that small intestine was removed. Even in the case of the those are chewing the tobaccos or that is a gutkas, so where the large intestine can be completely inflamed. Okay, it becomes IBD, that is inflammatory bowel disease. So such conditions, if it is not reverse, means were the doctor they can cut the small part of the small intestine, it was inflamed completely, so there is no chance to recover. That is also done by the doctors through a surgery. Okay, so that's why you do not go for unnecessarily, do not take the tobaccos or gutkas. Instead of that, you should be take any other nutritions, so that was your boost your body or nourishes your body and improve the concentrations. Because the gutka is not the good, it is contain the various contaminations or toxic substance. So those are mainly, so they are cause the inflammations of the small intestine. Then the inflammation, if it is not corrected in early stage, then definitely, so it was inflamed. So where the doctor they do the surgery and remove the some parts of the small intestine, so that was inflamed. So that such peoples also, so they will be having the shorter size of the small intestine. So regarding the divisions, so anatomically the small bowel or also that is the small intestine, it was mainly divided into three parts. So one is the first part, so that was known as the duodenum. It is the proximal part or first part simply. Okay, it is just after the stomach or pyloric sphincter, about 25 centimeter. That is the part of the duodenum. Just finishing of small intestine. Okay, so you can start the measure the height or size. If it is 25 centimeter counted means, so that is the parts of the duodenum. Then it is actually, it is known as the proximal part of the small intestine. Then the middle part, so that was known as the jejunum. So the jejunum, the length is that is 1 meter or 3 feet. So the jejunum, it is the middle part. It is present between the duodenum and as well as the ileum. So that jejunum is the having the size about, that is 1 meter or 3 feet. Then the last part, that is the ileum. The ileum location is, that is the, it is present between the jejunum and large intestine. So ileum, it consists of the 2 meter or 6 feet. Okay, and ileum, it was play an important role in the absorptions of the food. Digestion is taken place, but it is specially it was play the absorptions of food. And duodenum is the main part of the small intestine, so it can arises just after the stomach. So that duodenum, it can guard the secretions from the pancreatic gland, secretions from the bile or gallbladder, secretions from the small intestine. So that's why, so whatever the gastric juice, the sorry, the digestive juice are there, so those secretions are secreted in the duodenum. Later on, that was mixed in the duodenum, then enter into jejunum, jejunum into ileum. So then finally they are enter into the large intestine. So that's why. So the duodenum, it is the main part of the small intestines. It can got the all type of the digestive secretion. So that was required for the digestions of the food in the small intestine. So another factor is there. The stomach, it will be having the pH, that is around 2, that is 0.5 to that is 2.5 R2. It is highly acidic pH. But the duodenum, it will be having the pH 7.6. It is not possible because just after stomach, okay, immediately that is the duodenum, but its pH is 7.6. Because, so dear students, the duodenum, it can got the secretions from the pancreatic gland. So when the food is entering the duodenum, that is highly acidic due to, so this acidic pH of the stomach. But duodenum, so when the food is enter in the duodenum, immediately the pancreatic gland, they can got the signal from the cholecystokinin. Okay, immediately, so they are secrete the secretions from the pancreatic gland, and that pancreatic gland, it can contain rich of sodium bicarbonate. It is highly consist of sodium bicarbonate. So due to presence of sodium bicarbonate in the pancreatic gland, so that duodenum pH, because it is the basic, it can neutralize the acidic pH. Okay, so that's why the pH of the duodenum is 7.56, due to it can got the secretions from the pancreatic gland, so that was consist of the rich of the sodium bicarbonate. Okay, and this environment, that is 7.6, it is nearly neutral. Okay, so that environment is the helpful for the digestions of acidic food, basic food, as well as the lipophilic food. So that's why any kind of food, so that was digested, because in the stomach it is acidic pH, so that's how only acidic food can be digested. Okay, but in the oral cavity, in the mouth, so that was the slightly acidic, nearly to neutral, so that's why acidic and lipophilic drugs, so they are digested, so they are absorbed. But what about the basic food, so that cannot be digested or absorbed. So that's why, but the god the made a certain provisions for us, so that duodenum it will be having the 7.6 pH due to secretions from the pancreatic gland, so that was consist of the sodium bicarbonate, and that pH it can create the environment, so that environment it can favor the digestions of the all type of the food. So like that, the small intestine, it was mainly divided into, that is the three parts, the duodenum, jejunum, and as well as ileum. First part is known as duodenum, and second part is known as jejunum, and third part is known as the ileum. So during the experiment, if you want to isolate the duodenum from the animal, means that the first part just end of the stomach about the 25 centimeter, so that was the duodenum. Okay, that what where is, you can note down the length of the small intestine in the animals, that particular, that what animal you can be isolated. Okay, so that was a small first part, that the first small part, that was the duodenum. Okay, then whatever the remaining part is there, if it is 2 meter means, suppose it was 30 centimeter means, first 10 centimeter, so that was the jejunum, and last 20 centimeter, that was the ileum. And ileum is identified just ileocecal junction, it is one of the junction, it can form the between the large intestine and small intestine. Immediately end of the small intestine, the swelling is present, that is the ileocecal junction. So with the help of that junction, you can identify this is the ileum. So like that, by maintaining the proportions of the small intestine, we can isolate the, so this duodenum, jejunum, ileum. So during the research of the various kind of the drugs, so that can be screened, so with the help of duodenum, jejunum, and as well as ileum, because these are the smooth muscles. If you want to know how the drug will be act on the smooth muscle means, so what you can test that drug on the jejunum, ileum of the animals or duodenum. Or if you want to know how the drug can reflect on the GIT activity means, then also you can need the isolate these organs outside the body. Okay, so that's why you should be remember when you are entering the research. Okay, so then as well as, so the small intestine, it was consist of the special projections. Okay, they are the finger like or hair like structure or tissues are there, so they are folded in several membrane, so those are in the small intestine, so those are known as a villi. So villi is the hair like structures, so here you can look down, it is folded. Okay, so it is the lining of the small intestine, one special projection is present. Okay, so that is nothing but the finger like tissues is present or hair like structure is present, so that projection is known as the villi, and each villi having the 1 millimeter diameter and 1 millimeter height. Okay, and those villi, so they having the further small finger like structures, so those are known as the microvilli. Okay, so villi, so these are the special projections, so these are lining of the small intestines. Okay, so they are the finger like structures is there, tissues is there, then finger, each finger structure each villi, so they having the further smaller finger like structures, so those are known as the microvilli. So regarding the length, the villi having 1 mm diameter and 1 mm thickness. So due to this projection, the small intestine, it can provide the larger surface area, or these microvilli, so they are having certain movement, so that movement was helpful for to mix the food, so that of with the digestive secretion or digestive juice. And those microvilli, so they are figure like structures or my projection like structure, so they are provide the larger surface area for absorb the digested food in the small intestine. So that's why the small intestine, it consists of the special projections, so those are known as the villi and microvilli. So those are helpful for the digestion and as well as mainly helpful for the absorptions of the, that is the food. So these microvilli certain times villi, so they are known as the bordering enzymes because they secrete certain secretions are enzyme. So due to that they are known as the bordering enzymes. So regarding the gland, so the small intestine, it mainly consists of two type of gland in the small intestine. Okay, it is got the secretions from the gallbladder, that is the form of bile, and as well as it can got the secretion from the pancreatic gland in the form of the pancreatic juice. But along with them, the small intestine, it will be having its own glands. So those are known as the that is the small intestine gland. So these glands, so they are mainly categorized into two types. So first one is the crypts of Leberkun, or also known as the intestinal gland. So these gland, so they are mainly secrete the intrinsic factor. Okay, so like the stomach, so these cryptus labercun or intestinal gland, so these are also consist of the special type of cells. The first type cells is known as the enterochromaffin cells or arginotephin cells. So those cells, that is the nothing but that is the argin, arginta fin cells. So these are also known as the enterochromaffin cells. So these are secret the intrinsic factor. And second type of cells that was present, that was known as the goblet cells. So these cells are also present in the small intestine. So these goblet cells in the intestinal gland, so that was secret the mucus. And third cell, so that was present in the small intestinal gland, so that was known as the Paneth cell. Okay, PANETH, that is the Paneth cell. So it was secret the cytokines and defense. So intrinsic factor, already you know, it was helpful for the absorptions of the multivitamin or B12. So that is helpful for the hemopoietic function, synthesis or maturations of the RBC. So that's why the small intestine is also involved in the maturations of RBC or synthesis of the RBC. So regarding the mucus, it was formed the one protective layer around the that is the small intestine. Then cytokine defense, so these are the defense mechanisms, so they having the capability to kill the microorganisms, so those are present in the food. Okay, so that's why, so due to these secretions we are free from the microbial infections. If any problem in the small intestine or it is cannot be secreted, so then uh, microorganism easily attack to our body. Okay, and the small intestine secretion, that was depending upon the early morning, you can when you can take the warm water. Okay, so nowadays that every people they are told early morning you take the warm water, warm water, warm water, because so that warm water it can increase the mortality of the GIT. Okay, so due to increase the mortality, automatically the secretions was secreted, then we can got the beneficial effects of from the small intestine from their secretions. So that's why in the early morning you should be take the warm water, so that was helpful for to keep the us healthy, and as well as so that was increase the bowel movement, so that was helpful for to clear the morning problems. Okay, so then the small intestine is also considered another gland, so that was known as the Burners gland. It was mainly secret the mucus and as well as certain enzymes, so those are required for the digestions of the food in the small intestine. And the regarding the movements, the small intestine, it was having the mainly three movements. So those movements, so they are helpful for the movement of the food from duodenum to jejunum, jejunum to ileum, ileum to large intestine. And some movements are there, are these movements, so they are helpful for the mixing of the food with the juice, so that was secreted in the small intestine. So that digestive juice, it was secretion, so that was mixed with the food, then only the digestion is occurs. So that mixing is due to, that is these movements. So here the small intestine, it was mainly consist of the three movement. One is the peristalsis movement. So this movement is nothing but the wave like movement. Okay, these are the wave like movement. So this movement is helpful for the movement of the food in the small intestine like a wave. It is wave, so that's why we can propagate the food material from duodenum to jejunum, jejunum to ileum, from one place to the another place. And the pulsaris movement, the rate is, that is a 1.2 centimeter per second, some movement is occurs. And the pulsaris movement, it was regulated by the certain nerve or certain cranial nerve. Okay, especially that is a vagus nerve, it can regulate the motility of the small intestine, that was helpful for the propagations of the food from duodenum to the jejunum, jejunum to the ileum. So next one, that was known as the segmentations movement. So these movements are circular. Okay, so while the small intestine, it will be having in their wall, they will be having the circular movement. The small intestine cannot be moved circularly, but certain movements are there automatically. So that was the circulars, that was the circles completed in the small intestine. So this circulation movement in the small intestine, so that was helpful for the mixing of the digestive juice that of with the food. So due to circular in nature, so that was helpful for to mix the food that of with the digestive secretion due to segmentation movement. It is the myogenic. It means the muscles of the small intestine, it was controlled. That was the circular movement, not the propagation. So that why it is helpful for the mixing of the food in the small intestine with the intestinal juice or pancreatic juice, or as well as in the bile. And next one is the third movement. So that was known as the pendular movements. Its rate is a 5 centimeter per second. The pendular movement, it is also controlled by the myogenic drive or muscles of the small intestine, and pendular movement is similar to the segmentations. It means it is also circular movement. The rate is 5 centimeter per second. So this pendular movement, so that was also helpful for the mixing of the food that off with the digestive juice in the small intestine. So like that, so these are three different movements, so those are present in the small intestine. So next when we go for regarding the physiology of small intestine or secretion, so that was secreted from the small intestine, so that was known as the succus antricus. So regarding the its nature, it is a yellow in color, and daily output is 1800 ml per day. And regarding the pH, it is having the 7.6 pH. Once again, the small intestine secretion or succus antricus, it consists of 99.5% water and 5% solids. And solids once again classified into organic substance and inorganic substance. Inorganic substance consists of sodium, calcium, potassium, bicarbonate, chloride, phosphate, and sulfate. And organic substance subclassified into enzymes and other organic substance. And other organic substance like mucus, intrinsic factors, defense, so they are present in the small intestine secretions or succus antricus. Then regarding enzymes, they are categorized into proteolytic enzyme like aminopeptidase, dipeptidase, tripeptidase. So these are helpful for the breakdown of the peptide or protein. Then second one is the lipolytic enzyme. It is helpful, that is a lipase. It is helpful for the metabolism of the lipid. Then amylotic enzyme. So these are sucrase, maltase, lactose, dextrinase, trehalase. So these are helpful for the digestions of the carbohydrates. So next one is that it also consists of the enterokinase. It can control the movement of the GIT, that is small intestine, as well as it can initiate the secretions of the secretions from intestinal gland, as well as pancreatic gland, and as well as from the gallbladder in the form of the bile. So that is the role of the enterokinase. So that enzyme is also present in the intestinal secretion. So regarding the functions, physiology of small intestines and as well as the succus entericus or intestinal secretion, it is involved in the digestive function because it consists of the proteolytic enzyme, lipolytic enzyme, amylolytic enzyme. So that's what is involved in the digestions of proteins, digestions of lipids, as well as digestions of the carbohydrates. All type of proteins that was digested into amino acids, all type of lipids that was digested by a lipase, they are converted to triglyceride or free fatty acids, and all type of carbohydrates, that is polysaccharide, monosaccharides, so they are digested and converted into monosaccharide like a glucose, fructose, as well as the galactose. So that's why the small intestine, so it was play an important role in the digestive functions. Another one is a, it is also involved in the activator function. It can activate the movement, or it can activate the secretions from the gallbladder or secretions from the pancreas because it consists of the enterokinase. So that enzyme give the signal to the pancreatic gland. So food is came into duodenum, you can start to secrete the secretions. It give the signal to the gallbladder, then only the gallbladder it can secrete the bile. So that's why the intestinal secretion is also involved in the to show the activator functions, as well as it was involved in the hydrolytic functions because it is consist of the water, that is regarding 99.5%, and daily it was secreted about 1800 ml per day. So that's why somewhere it was involved in the hydrolysis process in the small intestine or to maintain the water level in our body. The next one is the hemolytic functions, that was small intestinal secretion. It is also involved in the synthesis of the RBC or maturations of the RBC because of secretions of the intrinsic factors. So that intrinsic factors play an important role in the absorptions of the vitamin B12. So that's why the intestinal secretion or small intestine, it was also have the hemolytic functions. Next one is the, it is also having the functions like protections of the body because it consists of the defense and cytokines. So those are having the capability to kill the microorganisms. So they are present in our food. So due to presence of defense, the small intestinal secretions or small intestine, it was participate in the defense mechanisms. So next one, so regarding the regulations of succus entericus or intestinal secretion, that was regulated by two mechanism. One is the nervous regulation. So passive nervous system, it was increase the secretion when it is activated by the cerebral cortex through a ANS. Okay, when food is enter, then the automatic cerebral cortex with the help of smell or seeing the food, so it can activate the ANS. Then ANS activate the parasympathetic nervous system, then increase the secretions. When the complete secretion is completed, it can mix with the food during that. Okay, when the digestive occurs small intestine, automatically the sympathetic nervous system is activated, it can decrease the secretion. That can allow the complete digestion food in the small intestine. So that's why, so after eating of half an hour, our blood pressure and heart rate is increases because once the secretion is completed, it was involved in the digestion of the food in the small intestine, means after that the sympathetic nervous system is activated to decrease the secretion and allow the complete digestion in the small intestine, and sympathetic nervous system is also increases the blood pressure and heart rate. So that's why after food, after half an hour of the food when you intake, automatically our heart rate and blood pressure increases. So that's why, so when you monitor the blood pressure, you can consider when the patient can take the food. If it is only half an hour to 1 hour or 2 hour, then whatever the pressure was increases slight or heart rate is increases, that is also due to intake of the food. That is also considered. So regarding the hormonal regulation, so these are the three hormones. So they are present in the small intestine, secret and small intestine. That is the enterokinase, secretin, cholecystokin. So these all are give the signal to the pancreatic gland as well as the gallbladder or glands of the small intestine. Then they involved in that to increase the secretions always. But same cholecystokin, it can give the signal to the stomach. Then stomach can stop to empty or pull the food from stomach into the small intestine. So that's why. So these are the various enzymes or hormones. So they are involved in the regulations of the that the secretions are digestive functions in the small intestine. So next we can go for regarding the large intestine. So just after the small intestine, so that part is known as the large intestine. So regarding the anatomy of large intestine, so large intestine is also known as the colon. So it was extend from the ileocecal wall. The ileocecal wall is the junction between the small intestine and large intestines. Okay, when junction is there, so that junction is was known as the ileocecal wall, and up to it was present up to the anus. It was mainly consist of the different parts. The first part of the large intestine, so that was known as the, that is the cecum with the appendix. So dear students, so appendix is present in our body. It is the that is the unfunction area. It is the end of the that is the large intestine in our right hand. Okay, so it do not have any functions. It do not participate in the digestions. Okay, it is the extra organ in our body. So that was the appendix. So when you are having the constipations, there is no completions of the morning problems. So then the heat was increases in our large intestines. Due to that, this appendix part was inflamed or inflammation occurs in the appendix part in the cecum because it is having the dead end. So there is no further movement is there, opening is there, only it is having one end. Okay, so due to that, so where the food that is the constipated, the food can be accumulated, undigested. Due to that, the heat is increases because of the constipation. So that's why the inflammation is occurs. Then it turned into one disorder. So that disorder is known as the appendicitis. The appendicitis is nothing but inflammation in the appendix. So that's why you should be take the plenty of water, and also always you can concentrate the regarding the constipation. Always you can avoid the constipation, then you are healthy. Otherwise you are suffering the inflammation in the large intestine or appendix. And second part of the large intestine, so that was known as the ascending column. It is just present between the cecum and transverse column. It is also consist of the bacterial flora or involved in the digestions of the food that was left by the small intestine. The next part, so that was known as the transverse colon. It is the third part is was present between the ascending limb and as well as the descending limb are just below the diaphragm. And next part, that was known as the descending colon. It is present between the transverse column and sigmoid colon. And last part, the fifth part, that was known as the sigmoid colon. Then after that, so this is the rectum and this one is the anus. So these are the different subdivisions of the large intestine. And special features of large intestine is it was consist of the bacterial flora. So that flora is helpful for the digestion of the food. So that was left by the small intestine, and as well as due to presence of that bacterial flora, it was helpful for the synthesis of certain vitamins that was required for our body, synthesis of the amino acids, so that was required for our body. So next one, that is the regarding the secretion that was secreted in the large intestine, that was known as the large intestine. Okay, so it is mainly consist of 99.5% water, 0.5% of solids. So regarding the solids, the organic substance like albumin, globulin, mucin, urea, debris of epithelial cells is present. And regarding the electrolytes or inosums like, that is the sodium, calcium, potassium, bicarbonate, chloride, phosphate and sulfate is present. But it is main consist of the bacterial flora, and pH is regarding 8. It consists of pH that is the 8. Okay, small intestine is 7.6 and the pH of the large intestine is the 8.0. So regarding the functions, it was involved in the absorptions of the food, or it will be having the absorptive functions. It was involved in the absorptions of water, electrolytes, glucose, and alcohol. Regarding that, is also involved in the formations of waste material from the after digestion, that was known as the feces. That is also formed in the large intestine due to presence of the bacterial flora. It is also involved in the excretions of the heavy metals. So that was present in the plant source food or in the plant food or our food. So that was also excreted with the help of the large intestine. And also it was involved in the secretions of the mucin, chloride, and bicarbonate. And also it was involved in the synthesis of the folic acid, vitamin B12, and as well as vitamin K. Next, last function, it was also involved in the decompositions of the bile pigments or bile acid. So these are the various functions of the large intestine, but main function is whatever the food so that was left by large intestine, so that food was